What defines a modern RPG? Is it sprawling lore-rich worlds like those seen in Elden Ring, or intricate parenting narratives akin to that of Baldur's Gate 3? You could point to the knowing humour of Ryuga Gotoku's Like a Dragon series, which has certainly left its mark. Still, when contemplating what features characterize an RPG, it's impossible not to ponder the past, particularly when the legacy of a turn-of-the-century RPG lives in the DNA of all these seminal works. Enter Gothic, a 2001 action-adventure game that reimagined what an interactive fantasy experience could be. Instead of a static world, the NPCs in this fantasy setting had jobs and routines and even bodily functions that dictated where they'd be moment to moment. Plus, if your belly started to rumble, you couldn't just tinker with your inventory. Instead, you'd have to head out and hunt your prey before butchering and cooking it on an open flame. These aspects may be expected, even coveted now. Alas, at the time, this kind of intentionality and immersion was revolutionary. It all took place in a magically isolated penal colony called the Valley of Mines, where you played as a total nobody, literally called the Nameless Hero. With just the clothes on your back, your only option was to survive, scrounging for scraps as you unravel the complex factions that call the land home. There is of course a lot more simmering under the surface, with conniving sorcerers and demonic entities, but you won't find any spoilers here. A defining feature of this deliciously punishing world was the lack of UI. There wasn't a minimap to refer to or quest markers to dictate your next move. Instead, you needed to trust your gut and keep your wits about you to avoid running into a vicious animal or getting on the wrong side of a particularly British citizen. Gothic's setting was so carefully curated, and yet you'd still feel like you're impacting the world at large. So, whether you were a brave adventurer, or more likely a morally questionable one, you could immerse yourself in the serial hero fantasy. This fresh approach was particularly beloved in Europe, where it earned cult status. It even inspired iconic studios like CD Projekt Red, the developers of The Witcher, and Warhorse Studios, the minds behind the revered Kingdom Come Deliverance series. Still, while memorable, the original release has certainly seen better days, particularly by modern standards. Thankfully, Alkimia Interactive has softened its rougher edges, reimagining the game from the ground up. With the core goal of balancing modern player expectations while maintaining the beloved jank of the core material, Gothic 1 Remake aims to serve not only die-hard fans who want to relive the nostalgia, but also first-timers who may not have had the opportunity to understand why it was so beloved in the first place. By sticking with the down-to-earth writing, awkward English translations and all, Alkimia Interactive's rendition of Gothic doesn't replace its legendary architecture, but refines it, reviving core features without losing the humour and magic of the original. It's 2026 and Gothic's quiet legacy is finally getting the recognition it deserves, with its brutal but moorish gameplay, reactive open world, and uncanny characters finally finding a place in the limelight. Built with the heart of Piranha Bytes' 2001 classic, as well as the technical prowess and adoration of Alkimia Interactive, there's never been a better time to revisit or experience for the first time the game that set the tone for some of your favourite modern RPGs.